Hi, I'm Roger Skamenia. I'm a winemaker and I live in Boonville, California. Boonville, it's a special kind of place. It has a cool climate, it's a great place to grow amazing grapes, but back in 1853, the area wasn't known for grapes, it was known for apples. Boonville in the Anderson Valley was an apple orchard. About 6 years ago, I got interested in making cider. Hard cider has a long and interesting history in the United States. It was actually the beverage of choice on the early American dinner table. But cider's popularity started to fade in the early 1900s. More Germans and Eastern European immigrants were coming to America and they preferred beer over cider. And then Prohibition came along and really killed the American cider business. Cider sales are surging again though, so where did this modern cider craze come from? You really need to go back to the 1980s when America fell in love with a sparkling wine-based beverage called the wine cooler. Remember Bartles and James? Wine coolers were flying off the shelves. In the 1980s, if you wanted to be cool, you offered your guests a wine cooler at a dinner party. The 20-somethings back then liked a little bit of sweet, a little bit of sparkle in their drink. But what happened to the wine cooler? The wine tax happened. The tax on wine went from 17 cents a gallon to $1.07 a gallon. Companies like Bartles and James reacted by reformulating. They started making their product out of malt instead of wine. And it just ruined the category. Brands like Zima became popular, but it just didn't taste the same. So that brings us to today, where millennials have created the craft beer movement. Now 30 years ago, there were only like 5-6 big brands in the beer section. But look at it now. The demand for craft beer created an opportunity. The girlfriend of the guy in the bar needed something to drink, and they started trying ciders, and craft beer drinkers followed suit. Now, millennials are pretty adventurous beverage consumers. They drink more craft and upscale beers, but they're also health conscious and looking for a gluten-free option. As a fruit-based alcoholic beverage with nutritional value, hard cider is proving to be an exciting new category for wine drinkers and beer drinkers alike. As a winemaker, when I decided to get into the cider business, I knew I wanted to take the time to do it right. And that's a big part of what makes Bite Hard so special. When we make Bite Hard, we are really winemakers making cider. We're really proud of our cider. We make it with gumption and honesty. When you drink our cider, you know you're drinking something authentic. We make Bite Hard cider the old-fashioned way. We bring in apples like Gravensteins from Northern California and Braeburns from Washington State. We ferment cold and slow for about 30 days using 2 different champagne yeasts until the cider is bone dry. Then we add a proprietary fresh apple juice blend of pippins and wixens back in to round out the sweetness. And we use a cross-flow filter from the winery to make it clean and crystal clear. Having access to winemaking equipment truly makes Bite Hard different. Fresh apples, yeast, and gumption. That's what makes Bite Hard special. So it's my pleasure to introduce to you Bite Hard cider. It's available in 16-ounce cans and 22-ounce bottles, in both dry and semi-sweet. Grab a Bite Hard cider, sit back and enjoy it with your next dinner. And I think you'll agree that Bite Hard is one of America's finest ciders.